To remind pet owners that Progressive covers pets in our auto policy at no extra charge, we're making a really cute pet-themed radio commercial. Hear that snoring? 2 sleeping puppies. Oh, they're awake! And they're heading over to that cute chubby baby that's just sitting there. What? Oh, now they're licking his face. Words will never do this justice. You'll just have to picture it.
Get coverage for your pets with an auto policy from Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and affiliates. Coverage for cats and dogs included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, live sports, trending bits, and timeless hits. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free. Upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. Law & Order SVU streaming now.
The Harris-Biden administration, of course, I put Kamala Harris first because she's really in charge, and the Fourth Reich. We are living through a period not that much dissimilar from the days, months, and years leading up to World War II and thereafter in Nazi Germany, the Third Reich. We're in the Fourth Reich. What we see is nearly all aspects of so-called American society joining forces to support the Harris-Biden administration, the ultra-left that has seized control of this country. Why are they doing that? They're doing it because they go with what they perceive to be the entity that can scratch their backs, to butter their bread, to line their pockets. The latest example is the reaction of Major League Baseball with regard to the Georgia election law, which for the most part just seeks to require identification to be able to vote and does not limit voting times. But because Joe Biden called for the boycott of Atlanta with the Major League Baseball All-Star game, coupled with Barack Obama, by the way, they ought to make Major League Baseball Barack Obama their mascot, because that's what started all of this racial division back during his administration. Major League Baseball, if you want to call it that, is moving the All-Star game out of Atlanta. And now you're also seeing major corporations like Coca-Cola, which owns Emory University, my alma mater for law school, and other groups, corporations such as Delta. I could go on and on and on, joining the fray. Couple this with big tech, which is in the hip pocket of the ultra-left. Couple this with labor unions, with large law firms, with other sports leagues like the NFL, NBA, and even college basketball, my alma mater, Duke, where the coach, Coach K, who at one time had some integrity, but who's become a total whore, actually had people write on their backs equality. I mean, doesn't equality go without saying? You have to put it on the back of a jersey. The results of Duke University this year speak loudly as to what that program has become and how that university, my once proud alma mater, has become worse than Berkeley in California. Bunch of whores. This is where we are, is that in Nazi Germany, companies such as BMW, Mercedes, Deutsche Bank, which financed concentration camps, putting Jews, gypsies, the infirm, the mentally infirm, to their death in ovens and in gas chambers. By the way, Deutsche Bank financed the Clintons' house the first time. I blocked that in Chappaqua, New York. They have all banded together. It is, in effect, the Fourth Reich. And the left marches on to take total control of this country. No free speech. Couple that with our so-called Department of Justice, the Department of Injustice, which doesn't hold anyone at the high level accountable. We know that for decades. People in and around me said, oh, they're going to hold the Bidens accountable. They're going to hold McCabe, they're going to hold Comey. I said, no, they're not going to hold anybody accountable. And of course, I proved to be right. It wasn't a brilliant call. I've seen it now for decades and decades. The Justice Department and its FBI are being used as the Harris-Biden administration's Gestapo. Instead, they're spending their time going out terrorizing people that were in Washington, D.C. on January 6th, simply in support of President Donald Trump. Notwithstanding that most of the people walked into the Capitol building that day. There were bad people on either side, a few, but most of them were ordinary Americans who had had enough. That was it. saw the corruption in government, saw the rank corruption in the federal courts and the Supreme Court, and said, this is the way I feel. It was a miniature storming of the Bastille without violence for the most part, but it was a warning shot across the bow. This total leftist takeover, now being supported by nearly every aspect of American society, taking the majority, making them the minority, elevating people who, should earn where they get by merit, but instead just based on race, reparations, everything else. This country is going to explode. And that is why I wrote my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry, peaceful and legal means to bring about justice, to bring about a new country. We need to form a new government. We don't have a government right now, and that's why we are meeting on Memorial Day on May 31st in Philadelphia. And we're going to form a new government, one with a voting system which actually is not based on fraud, with judges who are elected, not appointed through political campaigns and other types of perks and bribes. That's what we've got now. Bribed judges on the bench. You can see that, what they did with Trump. He doesn't even know who he appointed, given to him by Republican lobbyist hacks. They turned against him. They went with what I thought was the winner, Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. This is where we are. If you don't think in this Easter period that this country is lying flat on its back dead, then you are wrong. And if you think this is going to last and you can just sit there on your couch being entertained by Fox News, then you have another thing coming for you. And if you're in your 60s or 70s or 80s and you say, okay, I'll be dead by the time this country goes under, think about your kids and grandkids. Our founding fathers, some of them would be millionaires, even with inflation factored in today's world, such as George Washington and Thomas Jefferson. They didn't have to risk everything. They knew what was going to happen. They did it for their kids and grandkids and future generations. So you Americans that are sitting out there on your couch, smoking cigars, having a scotch, having a good time, sitting at your pool this summer, figuring, okay, it'll go away. Ain't going to go away. And if you care about your family, you get off the couch and you'll do something. You just won't sit there, say, hey, I'm retired, I'm going to have a good time. No good time, because you see what's happening. We are living in a world not dissimilar to the days, months, and years leading up to the Fourth Reich, to the way Adolf Hitler took control of the country, industrialists in every aspect of society backed him, kept him in power. The result, millions and millions and millions killed. And that's where we're headed in this country unless we straighten up right now, because it's not going to last forever. When Biden and Harris come for the guns, all hell's going to break loose. I don't want to see that. You don't want to see that? So join our citizens' grand juries every Thursday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. Watch what we're doing. First, we're holding Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, James Biden accountable for massive bribery schemes. On to Comey, on to Clapper, on to Mitch McConnell, who took money under the table from China, on to all of them. Let us clean the rat's nest out. Let us clean the rat's nest out of the District of Columbia Bar, which is trying to eliminate conservative lawyers such as me. I've been fighting them for years. The country is controlled by socialists, communists, atheists, radicals of every sort. They're in total control. You may not believe it now, but you'll be living it tomorrow. That's my message today. Read my book, It Takes a Revolution, Forget the Scandal Industry. See how we can try to prevent a violent revolution. But if you do not get up off the couch and get to work, you can forget about this country, not just for yourselves, but for your children, grandchildren, and future generations. God helps those that help themselves, the Father and the Son. I'll be back tomorrow with another special podcast. Until then, thank you for listening to me.
Nya, nya, nya. Ba, ba, Babue, Zimbabwe. The broken Bunsen burner burns so bright. Southeast Asian Peninsula.
Hey, Jamie?
Yes?
I think the only line we need from you today is drivers who switch to Progressive could save big.
cool. I just gotta finish my warm-ups. Foul, foul, throw in the towel. History.
Switch to Progressive today.
Santa ski slalom in a salmon skin suit.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
Introducing Peacock, the new free streaming service from NBC Universal. It's hit movies, current shows, live sports, trending bits, and timeless hits. And that's why you can't not watch. Peacock. Watch for free, upgrade for more. Stream now at peacocktv.com. Law & Order SVU streaming now.